is no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Time again for the Underdog Show, starring that champion of champions, Underdog.
When criminals in this world appear and bring the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear, the cry goes up both far and near for Underdog. 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 Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who love or plunder. Underdog.
Like all good benevolent rulers, King Leonardo devoted himself tirelessly to the citizens of Bongo Congo.
Their problems are my problems. These are my children.
But even so strong and wise a ruler as King Leonardo could not work constantly without showing the strain.
Sire, I'm worried about your health. You need to relax more.
Relax? Relax? Confound it, how can I relax with all this work to do? I've got too much on my mind. Remember my people. Their problems are my problems.
May I suggest that you take up a hobby, Your Majesty?
You mean like birdhouse building or making ships in bottles? That sort of thing?
I had something a little more vigorous in mind, sire. Like a sport, for example.
Oh, a great idea. I'm the athletic type anyway. What sport do you suggest?
Bowling, perhaps?
Splendid. Give me a chance to rub shoulders with the people. After all, their sports are my sports.
And soon, at the Bongo Congo bowling alley...
The object of the game, sire, is to roll this ball down the alley and knock down all the pins. Thus.
Looks easy. Let me try.
Undaunted, the kingly athlete had another try.
I did it! A strike!
Begging your pardon, sire, it was in the wrong alley.
Oh, sure. This is no game for me. I want something with a little more action.
So the king turned to...
Tennis, anyone? I was quite good at this as a boy, so don't spare me, Odie.
Very well, sire.
Better let me try a few serves.
Rusty as he was, the king kept at it, but he only got worse.
Odie, if I'm going to relax, we'd better try something else. Never could see any sense in tennis players jumping the net.
Odie Cologne next suggested kite flying.
But that's for babies.
Our ambassadors tell me, sire, it is a very popular adult sport all over the world, especially in the Orient. Fresh air, sunshine, gaily colored kites, all very relaxing.
She's going up, Odie. She's going up.
Next, they tried croquet. And diving. For change of pace, they tried the golf course, but the great athlete was no better at that than he was at other sports. In fact, he was worse. Until... the king was hit by a golf ball. By some strange quirk of fate, the blow on his head turned the king into the hottest golfer in Bongoland. Not since the great Arnold Putter had the world seen such a golfer. He made 4 holes in 1 his first day on the course. Odie was delighted, the king was delighted, and he really relaxed.
Odie, this is wonderful. We must have a tournament. We'll call it, let's see, the Blue Blood Tournament. I'll invite all the Blue Bloods in Bongo Congo to play. Paige!
But, sire...
Don't interrupt now, Odie. Paige, take an invitation to the golf tournament to all the Blue Bloods in the land. And as a suitable prize, offer a gold cup worth 50,000 bongo bucks. Now, Odie...
but, sire... there are no blue bloods in Bongo Congo except you and your no-account brother Itchy. And you know what a nose he has for valuable prizes.
Confound it, why didn't you tell me?
But once the invitation had been issued, it could not be withdrawn, and the tournament was on. Could the king's skill win against the trickery of Biggie Rat and Itchy Brother? We'll find out in the next exciting episode, Teeing Off.
Our episode begins in the hideout of public enemy number 1, Rocky Maninoff.
There, it's done. A perfect job. No one will ever know the difference.
What is it?
It's $1 million, that's what it is. This is an engraving of a dollar bill. No more robbing banks for us. From now on, we make our own money. We just put this in the printing press and print all the money we need.
Counterfeiting. Boss, you're a genius. But wait, we got no press.
Don't need one. We'll just take this plate to a printer.
Yeah, but who'd be stupid enough to print phony dollar bills for us? Nobody's that dumb.
There we are. Tennessee Tuxedo printer. Boy, I got a real bargain when I bought this printing company. Chumley, you can stop holding up the sign now. I mailed it up good and tight.
Okay, Tennessee. Say, all that machinery. What's it all for?
According to the bill of sale, there are presses and folding machines and tying machines. Everything we need to run a printing business.
Yeah, everything but customers.
That's Chumley's job. He's the sales manager. Go get us some customers, Chumley.
Okay, Tennessee. This your first customer.
Good work, Chumley. What can I do for you, my good man?
My name's Rocky Maninoff, see? And I want you should print me up 10,000 of these.
I see. 10,000 pictures of George Washington.
Yeah, my favorite president. Also, I would like yous to use green ink, my favorite color. And I want this job done by 2 o'clock, or I'll play you 3 goofs a tune on my viol.
Sure, Mr. Maninoff. 2 o'clock.
Okay. I'll be back. And get that sign fixed.
All right, men. Let's get to work. Baldy, you take this bottle of green ink and pour it in this press. Chumley, you push the starter button. And I'll put the plate in. Somewhere. Hey! Get me out of here!
Push the button, Chumley. Which one? Push them all. Whoa, hey, ho, yee.
Gee, Tennessee, this sure is a funny-looking newspaper. I can't read any of it.
You dim-witted walrus.
Now cut it out. We've got work to do. Start that press. Not that one.
I think we'd better go see.
Mr. Whoopi, come on. Don't forget to close the door. Mr. Whoopi, we'd like to know a little bit more about printing so that we can get this job done.
Well, I think I can give you a few impressions. Yes, get it? Yes. Well, there are three main kinds of printing. Relief printing, planographic printing, and intaglio.
What's the difference?
In relief printing, the letters are raised, and the ink is rolled on the raised surface. Then the paper is pressed on the surface, and whoopee! Printing!
What about planographic?
Here, instead of letters being raised, they're right flat on the surface. They're made with chemicals. When the ink is rolled on, it stays on the chemicals, but does not stick to the rest of the surface. Then, when the plate is rolled on the paper, the ink is transferred, and we have printing.
And intaglio?
In this kind of printing, the letters are cut below the surface of the plate. These cuts and grooves and dots act like little inkwells. They hold the ink until it is transferred to the paper under pressure.
So, that's just the kind of thing Mr. Maninoff gave us. All cuts and grooves.
Then what you have is called an engraving.
What kind of press should we use?
Well, there are three main kinds of presses. The platen press uses a flat surface to press the paper against the type, like this. A cylinder press uses a cylinder to roll the paper over the type. And in a rotary press, the type itself is on a cylinder and the paper is rolled between it and another cylinder.
Yes, but which shall we use for this job?
Oh, yes. You said it was a small job and a small engraving. I'd use the small platen press.
Phineas J. Whoopi, you're the greatest. Come on, men.
But wait! You haven't told me what kind of a job it is.
10,000 pictures of George Washington.
In green ink.
Washington? Green ink? Counterfeiters! Give me the police!
All right, now. The plate is in the press. The paper is all stacked up. The ink fountain is filled. Start her up. All right, off. Look at that. Perfect.
Gee, Tennessee, looks awfully familiar.
Of course it does, Chumley. Everyone knows President Washington.
It looks like a dollar bill to me. Counterfeiters.
Right.
Now start printing or you'll get this.
Sure, Mr. Maninoff. Sure. There you are, Mr. Maninoff. $10,000, dollars.
The money.
Grab it.
Money. In here.
Into the tying machine.
Good work, Tennessee. You caught Rocky Maninoff, the big counterfeiter. Take him away, boys.
No, Chumley. Baldy, my mind's made up. We're getting out of the printing business.
Why? We sure made a lot of money. Ha 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 ha.
Very funny. Now it's much too dangerous.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Hey, Unc, wake up.
Silver ding and the dagger. Come in, I say. Hello, I'm the hunter. Have nose will hunt. My card, son. Oh, it's you, little Hars.
Hi, Unc. How about coming out to play?
Not now, Hars. Can't you see I'm taking a little nap?
Gee whiz, Unc. You're always taking a little nap. The president says you're supposed to get 15 minutes of regular exercise every day.
Let's see now. 15 minutes multiplied 2 divided by 12. According to my precise calculations, if I play just one game of golf, I'll get all the exercise I need for a month. Get it over and done with. Efficiency, son. Efficiency.
And soon, on the first tee of the famous Missing Link Golf Club... All right, Horace, pay close attention now. What in the cotton blooming world is that?
Begging your pardon, laddie, Macragus is the name. Haggis Macragus. I'm all by myself, and I wonder if perhaps we could play together.
Sure thing. I always like to have company. I'd like to say anything to you, son, but...
Well, speak up, man, speak up.
Your pants, son. You forgot your pants. Hey, now just a doggone minute.
Dinner like a man casting aspersions on my kilts. Come on, come on.
Son, I'm a true Southern gentleman, and I don't fight with skirts.
They're kilts, you daft dog. Pull up your fists, and I'll belt you all the way to Bunnydoon.
Now, hold on. Nobody calls me a daft dog.
Gentlemen, may I suggest that you settle your differences more sporting-like?
How?
Why, with a golf match.
And so it was agreed. Haggis Macragus teed off first. Oh, it's going to be easy. Look at that. He's doing everything wrong. His head is up, his elbows are out, his toes in. Yeah. He won't even hit the...
Wow! Straight down the fairway, almost to the green.
Luck, son, just luck. Now watch how it's done. Head down, elbow stiff, wrist cocked, and... Woo-wee! Look at that. Drove it clear out of sight. Did you see where it went?
Look down at your feet, Unc. That was more dribble than drive.
And so it went. At the end of the first hole... Let's see, I got 11, 12, 13, 14, and he only has 5. Yeah, how about that? Only played one hole, and already I'm 9 points ahead.
But, Unc, it's the one with the low score that wins.
Nonsense, son. I learned the game from Alma.
You mean Arnold Palmer?
No, son. Parnell Alma, the old pro at the Catfish Lake Country Club. Why, we sometimes got scores as high as 140 and 150.
Well, around here, it's low score that wins.
A low Yankee trick, son. A low Yankee trick.
And so, good sport that he was, the hunter played by the new rules, but he kept his old habits. On the 7th hole, he got into a sand trap, which cost him a few strokes. On the 12th hole, he developed a vicious hook. So that by the 14th hole...
Unc, according to my precise calculations, you're so far behind, you're going to have to make the next 4 holes with 1 stroke.
Son, the honor of the South is at stake. Hand me my old Dixie driver there, son, and stand back.
Hit it, Unc, hit it.
I can't, son. Wound up so tight I got the club caught behind my right foot. Nudge it loose, boy.
4 holes with 1 stroke.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. You won fair and square, and Haggis Macragus is now one to bear a grudge. But tell me, laddie, what do you usually go around in?
What do I usually go around in? I usually go around in long pants. That's a joke, son.
In our last episode, Odie was very worried about the king's health and suggested that he take up a hobby to help him relax and forget the cares of state. King Leonardo, who fancied himself as the athletic type, was all for the idea, but it turned out the king wasn't quite the sportsman he thought he was. First, they tried bowling. Then they tried tennis. But the king said tennis gave him a pain, so they tried kite flying.
She's going up! She's going up!
Then the king tried golf. As it turned out, the king was no better at this than he was at any other sport, until he was accidentally hit on the head with a ball. And for some strange reason, this knock on the noggin turned him into the hottest golfer the world has ever seen. Every time he hit the ball, he made a hole-in-one. So elated was he that he promptly organized the Blue Blood Golf Tournament, forgetting in his excitement that the only other blue blood in the entire kingdom was his no-good brother, Itchy.
Hey, Big, take this crazy invite from His Royal Highness. It's for the Blue Blood Golf Tournament. The king and I, the only blue bloods in Bongo Congo. But I don't dig golf.
Are you gonna learn, see? There's a solid gold cup as first prize, and it's worth 50,000 bongo bucks.
But, Big, That game is Ensville. They play it outdoors, like in the fresh air, man. I mean, how square can you get?
This square. And that's how square you're gonna be permanent if you don't do what I say, see?
Yeah, okay, Big, I dig.
Check. Now let's start practicing. All right, address the ball.
Sure thing, Big. Who are we bailing it to?
You put ahead, stand in front of it. Left arm stiff. Elbows close to body. Bend left knee. Hips swivel. Club back slowly. Wrists cocked. Head down. There, Rich, you look like a real pro. You're never gonna be a champion, but no matter. I got plans, see?
The historic match was held at historic St. Santrap's golf course, and all the counts and the no accounts were there. The king was in rare form and blasted one hole-in-one right after another, leaving Itchy Brother far behind. Then on the seventh hole, a drive of Itchy's clobbered the king, and once again he was a rotten golfer. To make matters worse, Biggie began putting his evil plans into effect. Every time the king did hit the ball, something happened. Trees sprang up as if by magic. Waterholes appeared out of nowhere. And sand traps showed up everywhere. And when the king did manage to get near the hole, Biggie pulled the old switcheroo of the ball, so when the king putted... So effective were Biggie Rat's tricks that by the time the last hole came up, Itchy Brother and King Leonardo were tied. If the king lost this match, he would lose more than a gold cup.
He will lose his self-respect, something a king should never lose. The only thing that will save him now is a hole-in-one. 1,000 pardons, sire. Now swing, sire, swing!
Odie's plan worked. The blow on the head had once again turned King Leonardo into the hottest golfer around. His final drive was a sensational hole-in-one. The king was victorious at last.
Brilliantly played, Your Highness.
Yes, it was brilliant, wasn't it? I had to let Itchy catch up there. Couldn't beat the fellow too badly. After all, he is my brother. But then I was suddenly struck by the thought that I'd better make a hole-in-one. So naturally I did.
You are just a born golfer, Your Highness.
Yes, well, some of us are, some of us aren't. And I never felt better in my life. All work and no golf makes Leonardo a dull king, what?
But would the king feel so relaxed if he knew that even now Biggie and Itchy are planning revenge? Don't miss the next exciting episode of The King and Odie.
Oh.